Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Aiko, and I'm part of the team here at Roadmap Consulting. Thank you for joining us for today's Contract Administration and Compliance Support webinar. So, throughout this session, we encourage you to drop your questions in the chat, and we will do our best to address them thoroughly during our Q&A portion. So, today's webinar will also be recorded and made available on our YouTube channel and social media platforms. And as always, after the webinar, you're welcome to schedule a free consultation with our speakers today. So I wanted to also briefly now introduce not only one, but two awesome speakers today. We have Michael Perch, right? Is the owner and founder of Roadmap Consulting. He's a subject matter expert in the fields of federal and state public procurement. So he's a DC, SBDC, a senior consultant and adjunct professor at George Mason University, a 10-year SCORE mentor in the DC chapter as well. Mike has 27 years of experience in the federal government contracting, program management, training, and curriculum development. Since 2009, Mike has assisted over 300 firms in acquiring government-wide acquisition contracts and GSA MES contracts via Roadmap Consulting's GSA 360 service offering. And today we'll be talking our contract administration and compliance part of that. So also next to my colleague Alexander Demokel Jr. He's our senior contracts manager at Roadmap Consulting and specializes in GSA MES compliance and contract administration. So Alex works closely with our clients to ensure the contracts are stays fully compliant and competitive, and he'll be also supporting us in today's call. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome our main speakers today, Mike and Alex. Turning it over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Aiko, and welcome everyone to our webinar on contract administration and compliance as it pertains to the GSA multiple award schedule. We're going to try to be respectful of your time today. Just want to give you enough information on this particular service offering that we provide that will perhaps prompt you to want to know more about it. And you can schedule a one-on-one what we call a discovery call with us after this event, and we can find out your specific needs and requirements and see if we can be of assistance to you. So myself and Alex are just going to give you a little bit of a brief overview, no more than 15 minutes of our service offering, tell you a little bit about what we're seeing right now as far as things happening within the GSA multiple award schedule environment. Obviously, for those of you who've been tracking, GSA has become more prominent, excuse me, in the past year as far as the current administration wanting to consolidate more contract vehicles under the umbrella of GSA. And of course, with that comes the more attention being given to the GSA multiple award schedule as being one of the main contract vehicles that GSA manages. We're starting to see a lot of our new clients come in that have other contract vehicles that they're looking to migrate in onto the service offerings, products, and solutions that they have on those other vehicles. They're looking to migrate that onto their GSA Mass schedule or GSA Mass contract so that they don't miss out on any opportunities where ordering agencies decide to go with the Mass schedule rather than other vehicles. So good time to be on schedule, good time to be in good compliance. We see some growth. We saw some growth at the end of the fiscal quarter, last quarter and a half or so. More awards are being handed out through GSA Mass than in the previous year, which is an indication of what I just said. So, but today's event is going to be talking a little bit about how to maintain your schedule after you've acquired it, and we'll give you an idea as to some of the insight that we've gained and how we can best assist you with that. Alex will be talking a little bit later on in the presentation about recent developments, i.e. Refresh 29 that has come up that has made some major changes in the way the schedule is to be managed. And certainly we want to make you aware of that. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about our background and experience. We're going to talk about the requirements that GSA has as far as compliance and contract administration. We're going to show you our process as to how we support you in making certain that you stay in strict adherence to the terms, conditions, and pricing requirements that GSA has after you've received your contract in preparation for your assessment that you'll get within that first 5 years and every 5 year period beyond that, that you're on schedule. We'll present a business case study of clients that we have, one client that we have helped just recently to maintain their schedule. It was about to be canceled, and we came in and assisted them in keeping it on the books. We'll give you an idea as to our investment summary, how we work with you pricing wise to support you, and then we'll talk about next steps at the end. You'll be seeing from time to time a webinar poll question pop up. And so the first one that came up is, are you a GSA MAS contract? Are you on the GSA MAS contract? So if you can provide the response to that, that would be great. So a little bit about our company. We've been around for 16 years. We are a federal procurement management consulting and advisory firm. We assist companies in not only getting on GSA schedule, but maintaining the schedule and marketing to the federal government. Because what good does it do to get on schedule if you're not using it to help facilitate more business with the government? So we call it our GSA 360 service, consisting of procurement support, contract administration and compliance support, as well as marketing and capture management support. We support over 300 clients nationwide. We have a staff of very highly trained individuals that can assist you with those three services. We are an ISO certified organization, which translates into us sweating the details and making certain that as far as GSA is concerned, we keep up to date with all the recent developments that GSA puts out there, both in terms of their refreshes as well as any other developments contractually. And we take care of all that so that you don't have to, and you can focus more on running your business and making certain that you're doing all the things you need to do to make it as efficient and as profitable as possible, while we carry the burden of making sure that GSA, both in terms of getting you on schedule and maintaining your schedule, we keep you abreast of all the changes there and help you to get through it. We are ourselves a GSA schedule holder. We have in the past teamed with companies going after certain opportunities. We have some very strong experience in terms of project and program management, as well as acquisition support and leadership training as well. We had a big Navy contract with supporting their leadership training program, the Advanced Management Program. As our name implies, we provide a strategic roadmap for the implementation of best practices for business development, compliance, and proposal support. Second poll question. I'm sorry, we're still on the first one. We're going to move on to the next. So other areas that we can assist, we also, in addition to doing the GSA proposal support, compliance, and marketing, we also do management consulting services on just a specific need basis. As Aiko mentioned, I have over 30 years of experience in federal government contracting, so we have had clients engage with us just to basically support them with any particular need they may have in terms of doing business with the government. We can also assist you in getting industry certifications such as ISO and CMMC level 2 compliance, which is obviously a big deal now. Today is the 12th, so as of November 10th, no, today is the 13th. As of November 10th, there has been a first leg in the process of companies answering the mandatory requirement, those companies doing business with DoD for CMMC level 2 compliance. And those levels will continue to increase over the next few years, such that anyone that does business with DoD and possibly other civilian agencies and intelligence agencies will have to be CMM level 2 compliant. We can assist you with that through one of our strategic partners in terms of getting that under your belt. We also help in terms of referring you to other strategic partners we have in the legal field, CPA accounting feel as well. All right, so in terms of the GSA MAS timeline, to give you an idea of those of you who are fairly new to it, the initial award period is 5 years. You do have the potential for getting three option 5-year periods after the completion of the first 5 year for a total of 20 years total on the contract. There are possibly somewhere between 10 and 15, I think we said 14 here in this slide, 10 and 15,000 companies on schedule. About 30 to 40% of those companies, excuse me, are small businesses. And the other part that you should know is that there's a alarmingly high number of companies that get on schedule and when within that first 5-year period do not meet the requirements under GSA's mandatory contract administration requirements to stay on schedule. So I think the number is somewhere between 60 and 70% of the companies that get on schedule within that first 5 years get escorted off of schedule, mainly for the cause of not meeting their minimum sales requirement for being a GSA schedule holder, which is $100,000 in the first 5 years. Okay, which is why we have our CAC service as well as our MCM service to address those needs, to keep you in compliance and also keep those sales rolling in, those GSA sales rolling in, so that you're able to maintain your schedule. Okay. Question number two, poll question number two: have you worked with a GSA consultant in the past in handling your GSA mass contract? So if you can give us your responses there, that would be great. As I mentioned, $120,000, excuse me, $100,000 in the first 5 years is the minimum sales requirement. After that 5-year period, for the next 3 5-year periods, you have to generate at least $125,000 in being on schedule. Again, that's a mandatory requirement and the number one reason why most companies get booted off of schedule. So, and also one thing to mention too, as a result of either refresh 28 or 29, Alex, you can probably tell me, now GSA does require that you wait 2 years before you can submit another GSA proposal should you get escorted off of schedule. So that could be a very, very detrimental thing to your business if you get booted off of schedule. Now you got to wait 2 years before you can resubmit a proposal. It used to be 1 year, but now it's been increased up to 2. So the idea there is that you don't want to be escorted off a schedule, especially after spending all the time, energy, and money in getting on schedule you want to stay on. So we take care of all the terms and conditions of your schedule. There's a new requirement now for the FAS catalog platform, which is replacing on a gradual basis the old SIP upload catalog platform. There are new templates now that are required, the FCP template, all those things as a result of refresh 29, which is what Alex is going to talk about in just a minute. But not to go too much into detail, we again stay abreast of all the developments under the GSA refreshes. We make sure that all the current companies that we have that we're managing under CAC, we adapt to those changes, as well as making sure that for new proposals that we support companies on and submitting to GSA, that they are compliant with those changes as well. So now I'll turn it over to Alex to talk a little bit about one of the more big refreshes that happened back in June, July of this year, refresh 29, that has really made for a lot of changes in the way GSA handles both new submissions for getting on schedule, as well as existing companies that are on schedule as well. Alex?
Thank you, Mike. So for the refresh 29 changes, number one is the template used to submit a proposal. Though we're talking about contracts, administration, and compliance, so this may not be applicable to those who already have a contract. At the same time, if your contract has been chosen by GSA to transition to FCP platform, then this can also be applied to your existing contract. So GSA is now getting away with the old price proposal template. There are only a few cents where they allow that to be used, but most of the time, your SIN might be transitioned to the Service Plus file or the product file. The good thing about this change is that you will know right away when you're doing a modification if your price proposal template is acceptable or not, because it's more like an automated thing. And we here at RMC have experienced transitioning like more than 10 clients or almost 10 clients from the old price proposal template into the new FCP Service Plus and product file. Next thing is the new EPA clause. This new clause amends the previous rule governing EPA, which is IFSS 969. Now, the good thing about this is that GSA now allows you to choose between 4 different ways of increasing your pricing. That could be an annual escalation or based on index or market shift, or your your pricing catalog that has been published in your website. This does not automatically, but by accepting the mass mod doesn't mean you have already transitioned the clause. You would need to do it when there is a triggering event. So most of the time, when you're adding SIN or modifying your contract, this is a requirement that you have to go through first before you can make any changes on your GSA MAS contract. And next is I mentioned this earlier, the mandatory use of FCP catalog for new submissions, and the transitioning from old PPT to FCP platform. Lastly, there were additional previous mass mods have removed a few number of SINs, but now on the refresh 29, they have added 19 small business set-aside SINs on those SINs that they are retiring. So what's in it for you? If your SINs has been affected by this, we here at RMC can help you identify what are the other SINs that we can transfer your services and have it added to your contract.
All right, thanks, Alex. Yeah, a lot of changes going on just recently within GSA. These are the 4 major ones that have happened. What it's done for a lot of our clients is just made it more of a headache to keep track of all the things that GSA is now requiring, which is why they hire us and bring us on to do all these things. So we're able to do that, not only in terms of, as Alex pointed out, the existing contracts, but also in submitting modifications to add products, services, and solutions to your existing schedule, as well as new proposals as well. Okay, so now I'm going to take you very quickly through our contract administration and compliance process. The headline issue that I'll mention here is that we do keep track of everything, obviously, on an ongoing basis. For your clarification and information and guidance, we provide to you this report on a quarterly basis. This is what we call our contract administration and compliance status update. Every quarter, we provide you with this report card, essentially, that keeps track of everything that has happened with your contract from the date of award all the way through the most current period. Why is this important? It's important for you to know that we are keeping track of everything. We document all of the modifications that have been made to your schedule, the refreshes, the quarterly sales reporting. All that information is contained here, as well as stored on our cloud-based information sharing system, so you can actually go in and look at the SF30s as far as the contract mods or anything else for that matter is all kept there. Great thing to have at your disposal if we're getting ready to go into a GSA mass assessment, number 7 down at the bottom, because GSA auditors or assessors love to see this kind of information being kept. And they can always go and look at specific information as it pertains to any one of these items on this report card or on the status update. We're about to go into an audit with one of our major clients on December 10th. And what we're going to do is send off to the auditor these reports that go back for the last 3 years this company has been on schedule, and give them access to the OneHub platform that we have, cloud-based platform, and they'll be able to look and see all the things they need, and probably will show up at the audit on the 10th, having a lot of their questions answered with only a few questions for us to address. So a good thing to have as a management tool. As I mentioned, we have a cloud-based storage area that we give clients access to. Again, this is all the information that is kept on your behalf regarding anything regarding your schedule, all the way back from the basis of award documents at the contract award time frame, all the way through the current award period. So all this is good information to have. Our support, as we talked about earlier, does cover everything from sales reporting to the justification and communication for any sort of items that come up that the contracting officer may raise. We become your advocate to GSA to make certain that anything that does come up with the contracting officer having an issue with your contract, we address that for you on your behalf. Of course, keeping you abreast of any conversations we have. And I already mentioned the contract file compliance and coordination of all the activities. We do it all. Everything that is required under the existing contract, the solicitation put out by GSA, as well as any modifications to that solicitation, we will handle for you. We did just mention one example of a client that was about to have their contract canceled, and we kind of came in at the last minute and helped them to get it extended, working hand in hand with them and advocating to the contracting officer that the contract should be extended. This had to do more with the minimum sales requirement of $100,000, and we did find evidence that the company did have a GSA sale going back in the previous 5 years that exceeded the $100,000 requirement, and we were able to keep the company on schedule. We have references that we can offer to you. These are just a couple. By the way, we'll make this presentation available to anyone who would like to take a look at it after we're done. But we've worked with scores of companies around the country in maintaining their schedule. These are some of the more favorite companies that we've worked with, long-term clients of ours that we've been, in the case of Radix International, work with now for the past 10 years. So a lot of long-term relationships, and we can make those references available to you as well. As far as pricing is concerned, the way we price our services as far as contract administration and compliance has to do with service levels that are equated to the level of effort needed to keep your schedule in compliance, as well as the modifications that you're anticipating over the next 12 months. So we give you an annual fixed priced service level, a total of 7 service levels that we can show you on during your one-on-one with us, that basically equates to the minimum requirements needed to keep your schedule in strict adherence to the GSA requirements, as well as the contract modifications that you're anticipating making for that year. In addition to that, we also offer a time and materials-based contract as well. If you're not really sure what your requirement is going to be over the next year, then we can just simply do it on a T&M basis as well. The key takeaway there is schedule a discovery call with us, myself and Aiko and Alex. We get on the line with you. We'll find out what your requirements are, and we will give you a quote for your specific needs. So again, next steps, if you're interested, set up that consultation appointment with us. Ike will give you the information on that in just a second. If you're ready to move forward with us, we will send you an agreement through DocuSign for execution. And then we'd schedule a kickoff meeting with you where we would lay out exactly what we're going to do with you over the next 12 months, get all your information in as far as the basis of award documents, any other pertinent information we need to get. Do a forecasting of whatever contract modifications you want to make, adding, whatever you'd like to add to your schedule, sends, product services, and solutions. And then we would conduct periodic meetings, at least on a quarterly basis, to go over where you are with your schedule. We would also establish communication with your contracting officer. By the way, we'd be named as an agent authorized party to speak to your contracting officer, so we would be working on your behalf and working with them. and then we would take you forward with any sort of requirements you may have beyond that. I want to mention that we will have another webinar on December 4th, where we're going to cover not only what we've covered today, but also our two other service offerings, GSA Proposal Support and the MCM Marketing and Capture Management service offering that we have as well, to give you a broad idea as to how we can assist you in not only acquiring, but maintaining and marketing your GSA schedule. So that's it. We went a little bit overboard in terms of the time, but hopefully you guys got something out of this. Feel free again to reach out to us and schedule a one-on-one. Love to hear a little bit about your company and see if we can be of assistance to you. I see where we have a couple of former clients that we helped get on schedule that are attending the webinar. Solutions Med, I know, is one of the companies we worked with a while back. Glad to see you guys are attending the webinar. Schedule a call with us. We'd love to get reacquainted and help you maintain your GSA schedule and maybe add some components to it that's going to make you more competitive out there in the marketplace. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Aiko. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Look forward to hearing from you.
Yes. Thank you, Mike and Alex. We've shared the links of our website and social media platforms, as well as the Calendly link. So please check and follow, and also click that link if you want a separate Calendly appointment with Mike and Alex. So also let's move into the Q&A portion just real quick. We have a few great questions. Some are answered, some are open. So I'm just gonna go through according to hierarchy. So does the 100K sales in first 5 years means you have to win a contract, or just submission of a proposal worth 100K in GSA? Answer is based on contract one and paid by the federal client within the first 5 years of your GSA MES contract. Another question, we use SIP program to a catalog upload. Do we need to move into FCP method instead of SIP? GSA will notify you when your contract is scheduled to transition to the FCP platform. Once your contract has been selected for migration, you will no longer be able to use the SIP tool. All right. Another one from Kim. On average, how long is it taking GSA to complete the FCP price list reviews and update catalog information in GSA Advantage? So Alex says the time frame would depend on your offerings. For contractors with average of 30 LCATs or services, the process would take around 2 to 4 weeks after the GSA MES scheduled migration. All right, now we have open questions, Mike, if you want to answer, or Alex. From Harold, I would like to have Mike's contact information. We are the country's first community college to become a GSA Prime vendor, but we have a lot to learn and need some assistance. So I believe the answer is yes. We'll be able to
Oh, that's
work.
great news. No, I'd love to talk with you one-on-one. We have worked with colleges and universities in the past. And the reason why I think that's just a great idea for you guys to be on schedule is obviously at most college campuses, there's a tremendous depository of intellectual assets, intellectual subject matter experts that can qualify for a lot of the requirements put out by some of the ordering agencies for research and development, for instruction, for different subject matters that require depth of knowledge. So we teamed up with a local university here years ago, George Mason University, which we helped also get onto schedule. We helped them acquire their GSA schedule. This is going back a few years ago, but we also teamed up with them, and the combination of our talents, we won a big Navy contract a few years back. So yeah, love to talk to you about obviously maintaining your schedule now that you have it, but also marketing your schedule. We have a great marketing service offering that I'm looking forward to talking with you guys about on December 4th. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, we do offer the ability to search for opportunities based upon your companies, your organizations, quals, and attributes and that sort of thing. Match up those opportunities with what you guys do, qualify them based upon conversations with you, and then submit proposals in response to those RFPs and RFQs and RFIs that do show up, both open market as well as on schedule, as well as at the state and local level as well. All for a very reasonable fixed price amount on a monthly basis. So we would love to talk to you about that. We've made use of a very strong strategic alliance with a company that we do business with that has a very high level of competence in this area. And combined with our experience and knowledge base, makes for a great team. We have a good number of our companies we've been able to bring on to that service offering. So, yeah, a long answer to say we'd love to schedule a one-on-one with you, sir. Congratulations on the award of your contract, and certainly a lot of opportunities for organizations like yours that we've seen come to pass, and we'd love to talk to you about them.
Thank you, Harold. Yes, I believe Harold also responded in the Q&A slot and provided also his contact information. Thank you. Another question from Hamil. How long does it take to get a GSA contract, Mike?
Yeah, so that's always a question we get asked. We often, let me give you the the record. The record time that we've been able to get a company on schedule after signing the agreement with us is 43 days. Now, having said that, that's not the norm. That was an extraordinary situation, but it is possible to get a schedule very quickly if you have a couple of things in place. And those things in place include when we do sign you on, we'll have, as I mentioned in the presentation, we'll have a kickoff meeting where we'll give you a request for information letter, and it'll list all the things we need to get from you in very easy to understand language, narrative format, all those things we need to get from you in order to grab all that information, synthesize it into proposal pieces, and submit it to GSA in a compliant fashion so that it's received positively by GSA. If we get all that information from you very quickly, that's one of the bottlenecks we have to overcome, then we submit it very quickly to GSA. The next step is that GSA has to evaluate it, your offer. And oftentimes, as you know, GSA, any government agency, sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're slow. Most times they're somewhere in between the two. But in this case, the company that we work with, where we got them on schedule in 43 days, they got us all the information within a couple of days of us doing the kickoff. We submitted to GSA, and it just so happened it landed on the desk of a very motivated, very competent GSA contracting officer. I forgot to mention the client had a pending award where the ordering agency was waiting for their GSA contract to be in place to facilitate the award. So there was a strong degree of motivation on the part of GSA to get the contract awarded to them, the GSA contract awarded to them, so that they would realize that GSA sale within a few days or weeks after the award, and that's exactly what happened. So two things that were overcome very quickly. First, the client got us all the information very quickly. Second, the contracting officer moved very quickly in evaluating the offer, and the award happened within 43 days. In most cases, the time frame is somewhere between 2 and 4 months in terms of the normal, customary length of time it takes to get a company on schedule. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's longer, but usually it's falling within that 2 to 4 month time frame.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, I hope that answers your question, Hamil. And I know we've already addressed Kim's question. On average, how long does GSA complete the FCP price list reviews? According to Alex, Mike, it takes only 2 to 4 weeks. But Kim said they've been waiting for 3 months. Is there any next steps that they should do?
Yeah, I don't know what the underlying reason why it's taken so long.
Yeah.
It might be the contracting officer's backlog, just not being able to get to it, or there may be some issues. I'm not sure. If you need our help, we can certainly look into it for you. But yeah, it's all dependent upon those two factors. Sometimes the backlog is the issue. Sometimes there may be an issue with the submission. Not really sure, but certainly let's schedule a one-on-one and let's talk about it, and we can figure out a way to maybe offer some assistance to getting that pushed through for you.
That's right. So their contracting a specialist said that they have a backlog that, like you mentioned, Mike, and are working on requests in the order received. So Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons they gave them.
I will say,
Another,
I will say that we
yeah,
got asked this question by a client that was ready to sign with us yesterday. The federal shutdown has not affected GSA from our perspective. We've been processing modifications, processing awards, since October 1. So it has not affected us. Of course, the shutdown is now over as of today. But if anyone is concerned about the shutdown maybe having an effect on submitting mods or submitting a new offer, we haven't experienced any sort of issue at all. And now that the shutdown is over, obviously, there shouldn't be any issues going forward.
all right. I hope that answers for you, Kim. Thank you. Do you want, Hamil has a follow-up question, Mike. Do you want any awards, or maybe referring, do you need awards from Sam first to get GSA?
No, you don't need contract awards within the federal sector in order to get on GSA. GSA will accept any past performance references you may have in terms of contract awards that justify your special item numbers, which equate to your NICS codes. They'll accept any contract awards, either as a subcontractor or a prime contractor, from a state agency, local agency, from a commercial concern. All those past awards can be used to, number one, justify your proposed special item number, as well as justifying your pricing. Your pricing can also be supported by any contract award from any of those sectors I mentioned. So, no, you don't have to have any sort of past performance directly with the federal government in order to get on schedule.
Thank you, Mike. And we have two questions from our registration form. So first one is, I have a GSA schedule since October of 2022. Then the sales goal in 5 years was only 25K. Am I grandfathered in that is level despite the new rule of 100K?
Well, no, I think you may be mistaken. The 25K was a 25K per year upon being awarded your schedule in 2022, which means you have until 2027 to reach your $100,000 goal. So it's $25,000 for the first 2 years that you're on schedule, and then $25,000 every year after that. So for the first 5 years, you have to generate a minimum of $100,000. After meeting that goal and going into your second 5 year period, or your first option period, um, you'll have to generate $25,000 per year. It used to be that GSA would look at your company on a yearly basis to make sure you're hitting that 25K minimum sales requirement. Now they just look at you on a 5 year basis to make sure you're hitting, again, the $100,000 in your first 5 years, and then 125 in the pursuing ensuing periods after that.
Thank you, Mike. And last question, I would like to have some more direct information related to the BOA relationship going away. How do we now determine pricing for new products added to the schedule? And we were previously a discount from MSRP.
Yeah, BOA meaning basic ordering agreement, which is a contract that you can get after you've gotten on schedule directly with your agency. Um, I would just schedule a one-on-one with us to discuss that. There's a lot of questions I'd have to ask to kind of give you an answer specific to what you're asking. So yeah, schedule a discovery call. We can talk one-on-one.
All right. Thank you so much. Hannah raised her hand. If you can chat your question, Hannah, or let me just click on. There you go. Hannah, are you there?
Yeah, hi, you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, a lot of different agencies has mentioned about marketing your GSA schedule. Can you give some examples of how you would market the schedule, like reaching out to who exactly when you mentioned marketing about GSA schedules?
A variety of different ways. One of the things that we do in our marketing and capture management services, we will, based upon your service offerings and your own goals and ambitions that you're looking to do and how you're looking to do business with the government, we would identify targeted agencies because not everybody within the government buys what you sell. So half the battle is just finding out the agencies that do have an appetite for the services or the products that you sell. Upon doing that, we would look at some historical information on the buying activity of that agency to see when they have bought the services that you provided in the past. And we call that contract intelligence gathering. Upon doing that, we would then find out when those opportunities are coming back around again so that you're aware of, let's say, if you are an IT company and the agency bought professional IT support services 3 years ago under GSA, the GSA e-buy system. We would then, if it was a 3-year period of performance, we would then position you to be ready to bid on the new opportunity that's coming out for recompete. And even prior to doing that, hopefully get you in to meet and get to know the individual contracting officer, the program managers, all the people, so they can and get to know them, and then let them get to know you, so that even before the RP comes out, they know who you are. These are all part of the capture process. Finding out the winning bid from the last opportunity that came out, finding out where the pain points are on the part of the customer. All those are just standard capture management type initiatives that we would do on your behalf, so that when that RFP does come out, you're ready for it. You understand what it's going to entail. You may have even had a hand in shaping the actual RFP itself if we're successful in doing that, as we have been with some of our clients. And you can respond in a way that is not only compliant with the requirement, but also competitive, and it does highlight your value proposition to them. So those are all things we work with you on, collaborate with you on to win business with the government.
Mhm. And just a follow-up question on that. Is there like a list of like quarterly, like how on a state level they have like their buying agreements for the next quarter? On a federal level, is there also like a public buying system, like where how much they're allocating towards each project?
No, I can't think of anything that kind of fits what you just described at the state level that's also at the federal level, but there is tremendous amounts of information through FPDS, the FPDS system, which is a publication of all the buying activity on the part of the federal government. A lot of people don't go through FPDS. They'll subscribe to a paid service that gathers that information and presents it in a more easy to understand format. So yeah, we subscribe to a couple of those services, and we can get you information on any particular activity that happened within the last 5, 10 years, whatever it might have been. But as far as the platforms, aside from FPDS, I can't think of it. Well, you got FedSpin that you can go to as well as another platform. But yeah, they're similar type of, the government is obviously very transparent in the spending activities, so they'll make known to you any sort of information you might want to know. Um, but FPDS and FedSpin are the two, U.S. spending, I should say, are the two platforms that most companies go to look up that type of information.
Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mike. And one last question from an anonymous attendee. All of our contracts have been awarded with our relationship marketing via direct award to an 8A prime with our company as a subcontractor. Therefore, we have not met the 25K GSA sales per year. Are there any creative strategies to meet this requirement before our GSA schedule reaches the 5-year mark next July 2026?
The answer is absolutely. We've seen that scenario play itself out many times, and we've helped companies to overcome it. Yeah, schedule a one-on-one with us, and we kind of show you some of the ways in which we've been successful in the past in helping you to meet your sales requirement. We have a lot of subcontractors that get on schedule, and they have the same sort of dynamic play itself out. We can help. So give us a call. We can or set up a meeting, I should say. We can help.
Thank you so much, Mike. And that answers hopefully all the questions. Julie has just reposted the consultation link in the chat. So feel free to click and lock it in a one-on-one session with Mike or Alex. If you still have any questions or deeper insights, that's the best way to get personalized support. So before we wrap up, any additional questions? All right. Well, that wraps things up for today. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Alex. We truly appreciate your time and engagement. Thank you again for joining us, and see you at our December 4th webinar. Thank you. Bye-bye.